Vander Laan's childhood was spent in his home country of Holland during the Second World War. The family moved to Canada after the war, settling in Granton, north of London, where they farmed. Hank attended the University of Western Ontario, and after graduation, built his career working with E.R. Germain, the pioneer of cable television in Canada. Hank became Vice President of Canadian Cable Systems Limited, now Rogers Cable Systems, in 1969. When a takeover ended the reign of the Germain family, Hank found himself in search of another venture.
He was able to find this little patent that was, in fact, very simple, and it was the use of an ultraviolet lamp that had been built into a metal lunch bucket and had been shown to kill bacteria in water that were put into this lunch bucket. And the concept of using that idea in a disinfecting stream, or disinfecting a stream of water such as would come in from a lake to a cottage, was the initial idea that Hank and the investors, or the one investor, had at that time.
Hank founded Trojan Technologies in 1976 to develop this patent and bring it to market in the private water supply purification field.
He is just an exceptional entrepreneur. I mean, his move from the cable business to water treatment using ultraviolet light is, I think, just a great example of that. When he acquired that patent and tried to start this business, it was a new idea. And if you listen to all of the marketing experts, they would have said, there's no demand for that technology and that application. And yet, as an entrepreneur, his instinct, I think, was very good, and he had this real conviction that this really was a better way to do it and that he could build a business around it. And he was right. He was right.
Trojan attracted employees, and the company managed as a small business. Hank soon saw the application of the water purification system to larger wastewater treatment, where chlorine, known to negatively impact human health, is still used to disinfect wastewater prior to returning it to the environment.
This required a total change in engineering, and here we see Hank's qualities starting to emerge, how he was able to motivate, how he was able to see the concept clearly, and the potential for it. And remember, those years were early years of environmental concern, the early 80s. One wasn't hearing about every day about environment as we are today.
From then on, Trojan really began to grow.
That culminated last year in Trojan being awarded the Plum Award of all drinking water projects, and that is the New York City municipal drinking water. $50 or more million contract, which was, I firmly believe, although the engineering that went into it was brilliant, the research and development and all of the professionals and scientists who developed and worked on that project are much to be commended, and I give them full marks, but underneath it all was Hank.
Trojan today earns annual revenues well in excess of $100 million. It is a world leader in its field, delivering non-chemical water and wastewater treatment solutions to over 3,000 towns and cities in 35 countries. In 2001, Hank Vander Laan handed over leadership to the next generation of innovators. As company founder and senior advisor, Hank not only continues to influence the company, but he also contributes greatly to the community as vice chair of the university's board of governors and founding chair of London's Tech Alliance.
So if you look at Hank, Hank really is our model. You've got this young guy with a lot of vision, a lot of passion. He decides to start up a business in London, which he did. He goes out, he hires our local talent, he gets partners in London, then he actually helps get us put on the national and international stage. which is incredible.
In 2004, Danaher Corporation acquired Trojan as its core group to grow water treatment business globally. Today, Hank remains a senior advisor to the company. He dedicates much time to his grandchildren and travels extensively in East Africa.
And one of the things that we're focused on and that Hank is still working on is finding ways to make that technology relevant, affordable, and meaningful in places like Africa, where there's such a big need, and we haven't really gone so far. And so that's one of the projects that Hank is still working on.
Establishing a business in London, affecting people's lives in his own community and in communities afar, being a loving husband, father, and grandfather. Hank Vander Laan, 2006 laureate, London Business Hall of Fame.